welcome to another edition of Hypecast. I'm here with Will Phoenix from Phoenix Property Services, and he's here to just come and help me and explain a little bit more about what is it we're doing?
About inventories and schedules of conditions.
There you go, and why that is important, because we have a lot of investors, especially here with us, that complain about why they have to pay to get inventories done. Why can't we just use the one we've done before, or do or the one that when they did the refurb on the property? So me and Will are just going to have a bit of a discussion about why you need that, why it is important, and why you should pay for it, basically. So, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, no, all good. So, who are you? What's your company called? And how did you get into inventories?
Yeah, so my name's Will. I'm the Managing Director of Phoenix Property Services.
Yep.
I actually got into inventories nearly a decade ago now, when I moved to Stoke-on-Trent for university, and I needed part-time work for booze and schmoozing, going out funds, as you do.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting part-time work at a letting agent, who shall remain unnamed, as an inventory clerk, and I got trained up by a lovely Scottish lady there called Karen.
Nice.
And she was like the Yoda to...
Her name was Karen.
Yeah, her name was Karen. Karen with a C. I was told it was not Karen, it was Karen.
Right.
And she was like the Yoda to my Luke. She was brilliant.
Right.
And I was there for about 12 months learning the trade.
Okay.
After that, I went freelance for a little while before I started up a proper company.
Right.
Was just doing inventories here and there.
Okay.
And then I think it was December 2017, give or take. One day I was just sat on the laptop. I was looking at company's house, how to set up an LTD.
Right.
And took the plunge, did that, bought a domain, started up a really rudimentary website.
Right.
And that was it.
Oh, brilliant.
Phoenix Property Services was started.
No, brilliant. So 2017 started.
Yep.
2022, give or take about 5 years going.
Yeah.
If we exclude the time before that.
Yeah, so the last 5 years have been interesting, going from a one-man band working out of a bedroom to now employing staff, having an office in Oak Hill, expanding literally just from inventories to offering a plethora of other things.
Yeah.
Always trying to avoid what you guys do with management, because I love the industry and I love the job, but what I don't love is constantly trying to keep everybody on both sides happy. And the brief time that I worked at a letting agent, the agency I was an inventory clerk at, I took as much opportunity to do as many quals as I could, and had a property management qual as well to get more hours during the summer sort of thing.
Okay.
And that side of it drove me mad. Absolutely up the wall.
Okay, well, and I think you knocked the nail on the head there. To keep both parties happy can sometimes be a very, very difficult task. Because why should I look after this property? It's not mine. I'm just paying my rent. The landlord needs to do the maintenance and make sure everything works and pay for this and pay for that.
Exactly, and the kind of the modern culture comes in of, it's not my fault.
Yes,
I might have done it, but it's not my fault. It's not my problem.
That's it.
And I suppose that's really where the inventories come in. Especially my academic background was policing and criminal investigation.
Wow. Okay.
So evidence.
Wow, that's a bit of a police to.
just a slight deviation.
That's it. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's having the background of evidence and needing to be able to prove what you're saying. And I mean, we see inventories all the time. Like, we've just been sent one to do a checkout off of.
Right.
And it was from a big corporate agent, so they have offices all up and down the country, and within 3 seconds of looking at it I could tell it was an Excel spreadsheet that somebody off of a tablet like yours has just typed in the conditions and then took one picture from each corner of the room.
Wow.
And it's it's laughable.
That's it, yeah.
That's even a comparable to the kind of products that we offer, where we don't want there to be a chance of, you guys have used us, and we never want you guys to be able to come to us and say, you didn't get a picture of that drawer,
that's it, yeah.
you didn't get a picture of the inside of a wardrobe or the inside hinge of a wardrobe. We want every square inch to be covered, to cover our backs, and to cover yours, but most importantly cover the landlords.
Correct. So just on that, so why is inventories important? So, and I mean, when I say why is it important for a lettings agent to have that? Why is it important for the landlord, but the landlord forms part of the lettings agent. But why is that important to have?
So ultimately for the agent it's to cover your back, because
just to expand a bit more about that.
An agent in the legal sense is acting on behalf of the landlord, so by all extensions you are the landlord's representative.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
In the relationship with the tenant.
Correct.
So if something goes wrong for the landlord, ultimately it's something going wrong for you, but then it could also ruin the entire letting agent's business if you get a bad review. You're not getting leads coming in. You're then losing other landlords who are going elsewhere because they've heard of this review and are thinking, what if I'm open to the same vulnerabilities?
That's it.
But then from the landlord's perspective, I've met so many landlords networking, especially, and it seems to be ones based in the south, who are investing up north because it's cheap, plentiful.
That's it,
trying to spread the risk over many houses rather than a few, 300 grand houses. They can get 3 100 grand houses in Stoke or the north, which is probably the smart thing to do. But they don't understand then that they need to protect that 300,000, and just taking out an insurance policy isn't going to cover it, because they make the mistake of thinking that everybody they pay is on their side. And that's not the case.
No.
You are, because you need them to succeed for you to succeed.
Correct.
So agents will be behind you 100% of the way. At least a good agent will be, I should say. Then you've got the people like an insurance broker that are categorically not on your side. They want your money.
That's it.
But they will read everything into what has happened to try and not pay out.
That's it, yeah.
Exactly the same with car insurance. They do not want to pay you if they haven't got to.
But you have to have it.
But you have to have it.
I think, just so for those who have never seen an inventory, if you look here, bing, that is what we here at Hype, we use something called Smarter Inventories, and this is typically what a sheet looks like, and what we would send to investors. Will, I don't know if you've got an example you just want to throw up there quick?
I do indeed. Bing! So that's what we do, slightly different. As is in a very similar fashion to what I was originally trained on. We don't have an inventory software that you can kind of buy. We had this one bespokely made for us.
Right.
So that way we can kind of play around with it a bit more, and we're not stuck in a kind of templated structure.
Very good.
We can make it into what we want it to be. But it makes it a lot easier kind of referring back to a checkout when someone's left because of the numbering system. And you have all of the lovely photos on the following pages.
I was just about to say, so one of the things you'll notice is that both Hype and Will, we use a lot of photographs, because what we do get is moving a tenant in. So just from a lettings point of view, I need that document, because if a tenant moves in, I can I do the inventory just before they move in. It takes about 25 minutes to half an hour to do a room, to capture all the data, and then the tenant gets sent that information. They've got to sign that they agree with the condition of that room, because once they move out, we do a checkout inventory, the same as you do.
Yeah.
To compare, if there's anything wrong, the tenant has to put it right. So basically what you said before,
Yeah.
tenants are very easy to go, look, it was my fault, but I'm not paying for that. And this is again vital, where your letting agent has to take a deposit. We firmly believe in deposits.
Yep.
One of the biggest things that we get is curlers or curling irons on the carpets, and that burn holes. And if it's a greyish carpet, then it's sometimes hard. Yeah, but it's hard to spot sometimes. So here's an example. Boing! Here's an example of what we've got in one of our previous houses. And as you can see it if you look at it, but once you walk into the room, it's really, really hard to spot.
Yeah.
And this is why, what I like about the system that we use, Smarter Inventories, it literally just goes carpets, and then you take photos of the carpet spaces, the bed, the closet, the windowsill, the blinds or curtains if you got them, the cupboards, the electrical sockets. I mean, the amount of things that you've got to take is just insane.
Yeah, probably one of the biggest aspects of inventories that people are unaware of is the human error.
Correct.
I mean, with agents, maybe you guys are doing an inventory a day, couple of inventories a day, maybe even only a couple of inventories a week, depending on size.
That's right, yeah.
Whereas our clerks tend to get through maybe 5, 6, 7 a day.
Wow.
5 days a week.
Wow.
And
It's a lot.
it's a lot of properties. It gets to the point where well, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with mag and white. There's nothing wrong with it, or white and grey, like white, grey carpets, or mag white ceilings and beige carpets.
Right.
And you see houses that the only difference between them is literally the dimensions.
That's right.
And everything else, you could copy and paste an inventory and it fits. Even down to like the front door.
Wow.
And you probably do drop the ball a bit when you're on your 7th of the day.
Yep.
3 of them have been copy pastes, and you're just thinking, I would rather be anywhere else that was interesting. A studio flat that was packed with furniture to the nines, would rather take that over a 2-bed mid-terrace that is the same.
Yeah. So, but I think you're right, I mean, 10, 15 years ago, everybody was painting magnolia with brown carpets.
Yep.
That was it. Now everybody's going grey walls, grey carpets, white joinery.
Yep.
Thomas, and you're right. Other than the furniture, the houses or can potentially look exactly the same. So, but on that, there must be something that you find annoying within this job.
Keys.
Losing keys.
Not even losing keys. We have never lost a set of keys.
Oh wow!
That I can remember because of.
That's impressive.
With our ticket system, we can check on the back end, so the clients never see.
Yeah.
But we can log in and put what the key number is, how many keys there are, put a photograph of the keys, so that if we're ever accused of losing keys, like, well, actually, this is the set of keys, this is when it was posted back.
Yeah.
You're trying to take us for mugs for your mistake.
Yeah.
Again, just to cover our back, because everything in the industry is trust, but in 2022, the more you can remove the trust element and make it evidence-based, so instead of saying, trust me, well, actually, I've got proof.
Correct.
It takes a lot of that risk away.
Yeah. Wow, keys. And I suppose not every agent is organised enough.
No, that's actually a very good point. The amount of bookings, probably at least once a day or once every 2 days, there'll be one agent that'll say, really sorry, we haven't got the keys, the gas man's got them, or the electric man's got them. Yeah, when it's been the reverse, and if we've had the keys that morning to do an inventory and the gas man turns up, they will call us and say we need them back now.
Yeah.
And we always endeavour to do that. Yet we never seem to get the same courtesy from other trades.
Wow.
But I don't know whether that's the way inventory clerks are viewed within the industry itself, whether we're seen as a lesser trade because we're not hands-on physically changing the property.
Yeah. And yet, your job is probably the one that's the most important.
Yeah.
Well, that's it, Hype TV people from Hypecast here in Stoke-on-Trent. Hope to see you all again next time. Hope that you enjoyed that episode. Please like and subscribe downstairs. Any comments, also chuck them in down below, and we'll answer them when we get them. So until next time.